Roger the woman.
The Pat Sajak Show tonight.
This is CBS.
Tonight on News 8, Debbie and I will have these stories for you. This was Bridget Lake in 1964. This is Bridget Lake today. The girl and the woman, both Paul McCartney fans then and now. We'll have the story of tonight's concert at MSA.
Also tonight, the bizarre story of Shelbyville businessman Don Becca, missing for 5 weeks, now in custody in Ohio.
In sports, a big finish in Cleveland. The Pacers and Cavaliers go into overtime. Reggie Miller ties his career high. Fred has highlights.
And Stan says from here on north, driving is dicey. We'll get his first forecast.
Those stories and more coming next on News 8 at 11 o'clock.
Thank you, Stan. Well, he's the best-selling songwriter and musician in history. He was a member of the most prolific group in rock and roll history, and tonight he rocked in Indianapolis.
And in case you haven't guessed, he is Paul McCartney, the former Beatle. News 8's Ken Owen was in the audience tonight at MSA as McCartney kicked off the first of 2 sold-out shows.
It's electrifying, Mike and Debbie. It was chilly and wet outside tonight, as Stan said, but inside Market Square Arena there were nothing but warm feelings tonight. It's been more than a quarter century since Paul McCartney last set foot on Hoosier soil. Tonight, more than 17,000 people let him know they haven't forgotten the lad from Liverpool. This was the scene as McCartney took the stage. We'll hear more from the McCartney concert in just a moment. First, a look, though, at the fans who made up that sellout crowd tonight, some of whom have been waiting for this night for years, if not decades. The first thing you notice about the crowd is the age range. Older people, young people, even little kids came for a taste of Beatlemania 1990 style. What do you know about Paul McCartney?
That he used to be a Beatle, one of the Beatles.
McCartney's 47, and it's hard to believe it's been 20 years since the Fab Four went their separate ways. He last toured in 1976. He performed only a handful of Beatle tunes then, but this time around, half his show is a blast from the mop-topped past. And that pleases fans. These two guys became Beatle fans in 1975. They were 8 then. The band had broken up 5 years before, but that didn't matter. These music students say the Beatles are timeless.
Well, for one thing, they use real instruments. They don't have synthetic sounds. They have feeling, meaning. Yeah, they have feeling and soul. Now you plug in a machine and you put in words and you have a song.
For this Indianapolis woman, a $28 ticket was a passport to a simpler time.
May I present the Beatles!
In the summer of 1964, the Beatles made their only Indianapolis concert appearances at the State Fairgrounds. 12-year-old Bridget Lake, her 2 cousins, and a friend had front row seats.
It was just the greatest day.
That's right, the same Bridget Lake attended the McCartney show Wednesday. It's been 25 and a half years, but once a Beatlemaniac, always a Beatlemaniac.
I'm the one on the very end that has the most embarrassing footage that appalled my 4-year-old son today, who couldn't believe it was me.
Are you going to scream and shake your hair again tonight?
It's very possible. I think seeing that Beatles thing all over again and seeing Paul, who was every young girl's favorite again, is going to be a highlight tonight.
You got me running in a bigger way. Don't know if I'm coming or going to hurt your leg. Round and round every ring I go. I gotta know. Is it better to love one another than to go for a walk in the dark? Walk in the dark. Is it better to love than to give it to
Still rocking at 47.
Great,
Yes, he does.
Now, earlier we heard the scalpers were getting up to $200 a ticket. Did that hold true tonight?
Those were for the prime seats, and earlier today they were indeed getting about $100 a seat, Mike, but scalpers told me they had a very bad night. They were getting about $30 a ticket. That's about face value. By the end of the night, 5 minutes before showtime, tickets were going for $5 or $10. Face value was about $30 again.
They want to get out of the rain
before
or
the show,
something,
and about 20 minutes into the show, there were still scalpers outside wandering around with aimless looks on their faces.
Bad planning.
I would say.
Okay, Ken,
Thanks, Ken.